Welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Mare, and we're breaking down the world of pro wrestling.
From the eyes of a smart fan.
And a casual fan, and everyone in between.
Whether you're a lifelong fan
or just getting into it,
you've got a ringside seat with us. Welcome to a special edition of the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast. Today we've got a stacked doubleheader on deck as we break down two of the biggest shows of the year, AEW All Out and WWE Wrestlepalooza.
We'll dive into the matches, the storylines, and what's at stake as both promotions look to steal the spotlight. From shocking rivalries to dream bouts, we'll preview all the chaos, drama, and in-ring action you don't want to miss.
So grab your seats because it's time to step inside the ring with us for the ultimate all-out Wrestlepalooza preview. We're also serving up Suplex and Sauce 3, where the action in the ring meets flavor on the table.
Now we've got the scoop, the spice, and the suplexes to get you hyped. So grab a plate, pull up a chair, and let's dig into the big weekend in pro wrestling.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This episode of Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling is powered by W Energy. Listen up, brother. You know, in the squared circle, it's all about having the energy to go the distance. No sugar crashes, no jitters, just clean, focused fuel to keep you going through every promo, every match, and every late-night wrestling binge. That's where W Energy comes in, the ultimate tag team partner for your brain and body. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and a knockout flavor lineup, W is here to make sure you never gas out before the final bell. No fake stuff, no gimmicks, just pure power. So whether you're cutting promos or cutting down on fatigue, grab a tub of W and unleash your inner champ. Head on over to w.gg and use promo code Mr. and Mrs. to get 10% off your first order. That's w.gg/Mr. and Mrs. Fuel up, throw down, and leave your competition down for the 3 count. All right, guys. Welcome to our preview show. We're going to start with AEW All Out. Should be an exciting show, wouldn't you say, babe?
Absolutely.
Super excited. Up first. On deck first, we've got a singles match between Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill.
The long-awaited return of Eddie Kingston. 16 months he's been out with a broken leg and ankle.
Yep.
So we haven't heard any promos. We haven't seen Eddie Kingston. Not sure if he's going to come out with new gear, new entrance music, a new look. The little bit we did see of him on social media, he had a gray beard, gray hair. Looks a little older, so it'll be interesting to see, but I definitely think Eddie Kingston's going to come back with a vengeance. He's going to pick up the big win, and it'll be interesting to see if he gets involved at all later on in the pay-per-view.
Like with the Death Riders?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to have Eddie Kingston back. He's beloved in the wrestling community, it feels like. A lot of people that I've talked to about Eddie Kingston are super into him.
He's the working man. He's the everyday man.
Yeah.
Someone you could see at your local corner store, someone in your town.
Yeah.
The traveler. Everybody knew him on the indies. He's been everywhere. Ring of Honor, Chikara.
Yeah.
He's been all over. And AEW was his big break. And you feel for the guy because everybody's been there. He almost quit wrestling before he linked up with the NWA and then got his AEW tryout in that match with Cody. And that got him a long-term contract. So, yeah. But he's going to come back. He's going to get a huge ovation. Probably next to Cope and Christian, it's probably going to be the biggest ovation of the night.
A big pop. Then we're going to have the AEW Women's World Title 4-way match. So we got our girl Toni Storm, love her, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Thekla. I'm really excited for this match.
Toni Storm put out a hype video for this match that was like a movie trailer. And she calls this match 4 Ways to Die.
Uh-huh.
And it was absolutely fantastic. We'll repost it on our social media. It is worth your time to watch. Toni Storm is fantastic. I think Chris Statlander could pull out the win if the Death Riders get involved and help cost her the match, and that would be great to see Toni Storm going up against the Death Riders, getting involved in this whole saga and being the heart of AEW, because nobody's as big as Toni Storm.
Right, and her promo, I know we're not talking about Dynamite tonight, but her promo on Dynamite was kind of like a goodbye promo almost. It had that feel like she kind of knew she was going to lose her title soon.
Yeah, it's possible.
But it was hilarious.
Yeah, they've made Tekla also look fantastic throughout this whole build. And Jamie Hayter, she lost her world title to Toni Storm and never got a rematch. So there's a little bit of everything going on in this match. Should be a great match.
Statlander hasn't been the women's champ yet, right?
She hasn't even challenged for the title in 4 years.
Wow. And she's been putting in the work the whole time.
Former TBS champ.
Then we're going to have a tag team match. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR. We've kind of seen this match a bit now, right?
I mean, they haven't wrestled. They've done promos, but this should be a fantastic tag team match.
You think so?
Absolutely. You have, the best tag team of the last, 5-6 years in FTR, and one of the greatest tag teams from the Attitude Era, Cope and Christian. And they're in Toronto, their hometown.
Oh, so they're gotta win.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's the opening match. Tony Khan announced that it will be opening the card on All Out. So Cope and Christian are going to get that long entrance, that huge ovation. And FTR is going to go all out to give these guys everything they got.
Yeah.
So I would expect this to get its due time. And, definitely Cope and Christian are going to come out on top.
Then we're going to have a 6-man tag team match, the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan and Toa Leona and Ricochet versus the Hurt Syndicate. So Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. So MVP is actually wrestling?
Yep, he's going to be wrestling. He is the third person of the team. So that's it in the Hurt Syndicate. I'd like
he'll show.
MVP?
Yeah, he's been missing in action, right?
No, he was there on Wednesday. He's been there every week. He just couldn't go to England because he has a felony.
Gotcha.
So they wouldn't let him in. So, yeah, but he'll be in Canada. He'll be good to go. And, yeah, it should be a great match. Ricochet's going to go all out. I think Gates of Agony and Ricochet should win. We haven't seen the Hurt Syndicate be pinned or submitted as of yet. MVP could take the fall. But it'll be interesting to see if the Hurt Syndicate actually puts somebody over.
That would be pretty cool. Then we have the AEW TBS title match between Mercedes Moné and Riho.
Yeah, this has the makings to be a good match. Are we going to see the best of Riho? Is Mercedes going to be fully invested in this match? I expect Mercedes to win the match and keep her title and keep going strong. So we'll see. But it definitely has the potential to be one of the better women's matches because Riho can go. It's just, is it all going to be put together?
I'm not expecting a lot from it, but maybe, I don't know. I think that the 4-way match is going to be a better match.
Yeah, that'll be a better match, but this could be good.
Then we have the coffin match between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. I'm worried for Darby.
Yeah, Darby's going to go all out. Moxley's going to go all out. You can be guaranteed that it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be wild. There's going to be stunts. There's going to be a little bit of everything. Interference, I would imagine.
Yeah.
This could go either way. But I expect Moxley to come out on top and then set up a rematch with Darby to take it even further.
Yeah. Then we have a tables and tax match with Mark Briscoe and MJF. So it's the match that Mark Briscoe's been waiting for. Even MJF wasn't going to give him the time of day before, right?
Yeah, it's a big weekend for MJF. We're recording this Friday evening. The CMLL anniversary show is about to start in about 45 minutes. where MJF is headlining against Mystico for the CMLL World title. So it'll be interesting to see. He's going to fly right out after that from Mexico to Toronto. So he's going to have a busy weekend. And with Mark Briscoe, he's going to go all out in this tables and tax match.
Oh, 100%. Who's going to bleed more?
Oh, Moxley's going to bleed more than anybody on the show. Or do you mean MJF and Briscoe?
Yeah, between the two of those guys.
Oh, Briscoe for sure.
Yeah.
MJF, he's filming a movie right now too. So
he can't mess up his face.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much he really does. But I expect Mark Briscoe to go all out in this. Pun intended.
All out. Next, we have the AEW Unified title, International title, and Continental title three-way match between Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, and Mascara Dorada. You were excited about this. We didn't expect to see Mascara Dorada in this, but...
Yeah, I expect Dorada to be the one to take the fall here. But anytime you can get Takeshita and Okada in the same ring, it's going to be great. Dorada is one of the best in CMLL, so I'm expecting high things for this. I hope we get big match Okada where he goes all out. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. How's Don Callis going to be involved managing 2/3 of this match?
Yeah.
Will we continue to see the Takeshita turn to being a good guy? I would love to see Takeshita, Bushi, and Omega get back together and go against the Don Callis family.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see that down the line, but should be good. I expect Okada to look good, Takeshita to look strong, and Okada to retain.
Okay. Then we're going to have the AEW World Tag Team title four-way ladder match. So we'll have Brodito versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus the Don Callis family. And that would be Hechicero and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild match. Whenever you throw Bandito and the Young Bucks and a ladder together, it's going to be something. Kevin Knight, I would imagine, is going to do some crazy stunts and some high-flying moves off the ladder. Mike Bailey's good in any situation. So, yeah, this could steal the show just because it's going to be a train wreck. I expect Brodito to retain. I would like to see the Young Bucks back on top.
Yeah. They had normal music and stuff, didn't they?
It's because they won the $500 challenge.
$500,000 challenge?
Yeah.
Are you making fun of me right now?
Nope.
And lastly, we have the AEW World title match. Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. So that's going to be fantastic.
Yes. Kyle Fletcher's coming out party. He is going to get to showcase the main event. If anybody from the Don Callis family gets involved, Kyle Fletcher will lose the TNT title as well.
Yeah.
So everybody is barred from ringside. This is going to be a fantastic match. Page is going to go all out. Fletcher's going to go all out. I'd expect this to be a fantastic match. As much as I want Kyle Fletcher to win and be the champ, I think Page is going to retain and hang on to the title.
Yeah.
Should be a great pay-per-view. Very exciting to see it all play out. AEW's first show on HBO Max, where if you have an HBO Max subscription, you can get the pay-per-view at a discounted rate. So very exciting to see how they do. First of a big show on a big Saturday for pro wrestling.
And we're going to be live tweeting?
Yes, we will. All throughout the day.
Awesome. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break.
Oh, you like wrestling? You like wrestling as much as me, Effie, the GCW World Champion? Well, I've got the right show for you. Tune in to Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling, where Steve and Mare bring you all the wrestling news, all the wrestling fun and gossip on a podcast available to you for free to listen to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you get podcasts. That's right, it's Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling.
And we are back. We're going to cover Wrestlepalooza now. That's an exciting name.
Yeah, it's an old ECW pay-per-view name, and it's going to be WWE's first show on the ESPN Unlimited. So exciting to see that partnership and how that's going to play out. WWE wrestlers have been all over ESPN, First Take, Sports Center.
Yeah.
They're doing preview shows and segments all throughout the day, and today included before the SmackDown show. So yeah, big things for WWE as well.
So first up, we have the tag team match, the Usos versus the Vision. I think the Vision's going to take this one away. What about you?
I think the Usos are going to win. It's their first match back together. The only way I think the Vision are going to pull this out is if LA Knight gets involved. It continues his beef with main event Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But first time we've seen the Usos tagging in
a long time.
It's been a couple of years. So, yeah, they'll get a huge ovation for that match.
Now, whose music are they going to come out to?
They could have new music.
Maybe. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah. There was also talk that Braun Breaker was getting music from Limp Bizkit. If they were going to debut new music for him, this would be the show to do it on with the biggest audience.
I mean, they're going to want to go big.
Yeah.
On this show.
Yeah, I expect this show to be a long show. Every match is going to get its time. They're going to go all out. They want to have the biggest moments to steal the thunder of the weekend.
Yeah. Then next, we're going to have the WWE Women's World Title match with Io Sky and Stephanie Vacour. This should be a great match. I think they're both great wrestlers.
This is the match I'm most looking forward to because I want to see how it's going to go down. Do they have faith in Stephanie? Are they going to put the rocket on her and let her be the person to carry the division? If they don't have faith in her, you're going to find out very easily and quickly because she's not going to go over against Io. They're going to continue with playing it safe, knowing what they get from Io, and that'll tell us that they're building to that Io and Rhea singles match, probably at Royal Rumble. But I expect Stephanie to win. Give her the shot. They won the contract negotiations to sign her from AEW.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels went all out to get her. So I would expect that they're going to give her the ball and let her run and be champ for a while.
That would be kind of cool, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they'll give her a manager?
No.
They'll let her go on her own?
Yeah, her English is good enough that she'll be just fine.
Yeah. Then we have a mixed tag team match with AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. This is going to be silly.
Yeah, this should be a good match. AJ Lee was always a solid wrestler. Punk and Rollins, you know what you're going to get with them. How's that ring rust going to look for AJ Lee? She hasn't been in a match in some time.
Yeah.
So how's she going to fare? You know the crowd's going to be hot for this. They're going to want to see this. And Punk and Rollins, you know they're going to go all out, especially with their wives being involved in the match. So
yeah.
Nobody's going to want to be upstaged at all.
And Becky and Seth are like so over the top. Like it's going to be entertaining in that sense.
Yeah, I expect AJ Lee and Punk to win and then set up singles matches against both Becky and Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Then we have the main event.
No.
Just kidding. Then we have a singles match, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Is John Cena going to have his brother Ron Cena in his corner?
Probably not. I wouldn't imagine that he's going to be involved in this match. This is actually opening the show. This is going to be the first show tomorrow night on Wrestlepalooza. So they're going to give Cena all the time he wants. And Brock Lesnar, his first match in a few years with WWE. So, you know, is this going to be the last time Lesnar and Cena interact? Are they going to let Cena go over on Lesnar on his way out? Is Lesnar here for the long haul? A lot of things are going to be answered in this. We're down to the final 6 appearances for John Cena.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of the road here.
I think the most important question is, will Brock Lesnar rip his pants again?
I don't envision him wearing pants to the ring. He'll probably wear his normal shorts.
Yeah.
So I don't expect that to happen. But I do expect John Cena to win the match. They should be building up John Cena and building towards a big final match for him.
Yeah. Then the final match of the evening is going to be the undisputed WWE title match with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Cody's big return after being out for a while for the Street Fighter filming. And this should be a fantastic match. Cody's going to be another one that doesn't want to be upstaged at all.
Right.
So he's going to go all out versus Drew McIntyre. It should be a great match. It's probably going to be the match right before. I mean, it could be the main event. They could go with AJ Lee and CM Punk as the main event.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I always think the world title should be the main event. He's on SmackDown coming out right now, full suit. So, yeah, him and McIntyre should be a fantastic match. They've had great matches in the past, great matches in TNA before. So I wouldn't expect anything less. And Cody's going to go all out as always.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to take another break and get ready for the all-out burger brawl.
Steve, Mayor, Brian Alvarez here. Yes, Wrestling Observer Live and Wrestling Observer Radio and the Brian and Vinny Show and After Dark and all those. And wish you guys all the best. I remember my first podcast in like 2005. There wasn't even the word podcast when I started. It took me about 10 years before I did even a single good podcast. So you guys are way ahead of the game. So keep it up. Just like those wrestlers, do your house shows. Get your reps. Just do as many shows as you can. Before you know it, you'll have 15,000 podcasts under your belt. But anyway, you're listening to the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling Podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Stephen Mayer, Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling.
Welcome to Suplex and Sauce. At AEW All Out, it's chaos in the ring. Multiple wrestlers clashing in one giant battle royal. The all-out burger brawl brings the same energy to the table. Stacked patties, clashing flavors, and toppings fighting for space on one monstrous burger. It's not just dinner, it's a main event spectacle. All right, guys, welcome to Mr. and Miss Suplex. We're doing the AEW smash burger today. So you can see I have all my ingredients laid out here, including my ground beef. I like to use plastic wrap on the countertop to keep it clean. So first I am going to smash my patties using a heavy bottomed pan. It really kind of helps to flatten them out. And you can make these as thick or as thin as you'd like. Just keep in mind the thinner they are, the more easy they will come apart as you try to put them in the pan. I'm using a cast iron pan today to cook my smash burgers. I just like the way that it holds heat. Let's see here. Remove my plastic off of the top. And I am going to generously season these with salt and pepper on the top side here, and I will proceed to season the bottoms as they put them in the pan. Looks good, guys. And then I do a little shake of pepper. Now you get more control if you put the pepper in your hand and then pinch and spread, but I just do the old shakeroni. I put a little bit of vegetable oil in the pan just so that the burgers don't stick. You're going to want your pan to be pretty much almost to the smoking point. You want it to be very hot because you want those burgers to get a nice crust on them without sticking to the pan. If you put your meat in a cold pan, it's more likely to stick to the bottom. So we're going to let that heat up. The oil should, get relatively loose. You could see I spread it out. You can't see in the video that it's basically to the smoking point, but I usually, wave my hand over it. So I will put my patty in there. And you want to make sure you hear a good sizzle. I'm going to take another heavy bottomed pan to keep the burger pressed down flat because, sometimes burgers bow in the pan. If you poke a hole in the middle with your finger of like a bigger burger, it's less likely to bow, but we don't want to do that with these because they're so thin. We just want to make sure that they stay, the correct shape. I lift it up and check it. I didn't season the bottom of this one, so I'm going to go ahead and season it now. Generally, I would do that right after I got it in the pan. But, can't be perfect every time. Shake a little pepper on there. I'll put the pan back on top and let it go for a little bit. Now, these are going to cook pretty quickly because they are so thin. So you're not going to want to step away from your pan when you're doing these. It won't take very long at all. You can see I'm checking it here. And you can see that it's cooking because there's a little gray around the edges. So I am going to give this a flip. You can see it's a nice brown crust on the one side. We're just going to put the pan back on top and let it finish cooking. And then we will start our second burger. There's always going to be a little residue on the pan. I usually just give it a little bit of a scrape, clean off a new space. Sometimes I'll add oil, sometimes I won't. For the second go around, since we're going to be cooking multiple burgers, I am going to reseason the pan just to make sure that it doesn't stick. Now you can see this burger has two different colors to it. There's the really deep red pink and then there's like the lighter pink. Now you'll notice this with your hamburger at the butcher shop or wherever you get your ground beef. That's just the meat blooming. So as the blood hits the air, it oxidizes, which gives it that nice deep red color. And then the darker colors inside of the meat is just the meat that hasn't bloomed. Now I'm toasting my buns here. Won't take long at all. But back to the blooming of the meat, you'll notice sometimes there'll be like a brown ring on the inside, and that just means that the blood, when you cut meat or grind it and it touches itself, it will discolor it. But there isn't anything wrong with it. It's just discoloration. Things you learn working at a meat counter for a lot of years. So you could see getting them nice and toasty. I scraped off my pan, so there's not a lot of smoky bits on my buns. I did turn the heat down for this because I didn't want to burn my buns, but fun fact, I did in fact burn some buns. All right. Flip those over. Gonna get them on my beautiful yellow-green plate. They don't have to be crazy toasty. I did put a little butter on those buns. It's probably a good idea to butter your buns. We're gonna add the ketchup to the bun. Now you can put any condiments you'd like on this. This is a very simple burger. It's just 2 thin patties, ketchup, cheese. You'll see a little bit of lettuce and tomato. Very simple. We do get fancy though. Sometimes we do bacon. Sometimes we do copycat In-N-Out sauce. But there's our tomato and our lettuce. But this one, we're just going classic with it. Ketchup, lettuce, tomato, and cheese. And I don't put a lot of fancy spices in my burgers. I just try to make sure that they taste good. So there you go. Double patty, cheese. And then I am going to make my slaw, my Wrestlepalooza slaw. Very easy and quick to make. I like to have my ingredients pre-measured and out. It's called mise en place in French, and that means everything in its place. It's a concept I learned in culinary school, so whenever I'm doing a recipe for show, I like to make sure that all my ingredients are ready to go and prepped. It just makes things easier. So I am going to do about a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise in a separate bowl here. It's probably like a 1/2 cup and a tablespoon or so. And I put my spoon right into my coleslaw bowl because we're going to reuse that spoon. And this one has a little bit of a kick to it. I decided to use hot honey instead of regular sugar. So you'll see in a moment the brand that I like to use for this. This brand, oh, I guess I'm doing cilantro. That's cilantro. I like cilantro in my coleslaw. I also do like a little bit of an onion flavor, so I put just the green parts of the scallions into my coleslaw. It's going to give it that little bit of onion brightness without being too strong. I don't want to have the white parts because that'll make it too oniony for the people that don't like onions. Okay. Shouldn't take us very long now. I do know I had some trouble with my hot honey because it was a brand new one. There we go. Melinda's Hot Honey is my favorite brand. It just has an incredible flavor, a slight kick. It's not too spicy. It's the best. I did probably about a tablespoon of Melinda's Hot Honey there. And then I have to season it with salt and pepper, just like we do everything else. You want to make sure that you generously season your sauce because it is going to coat all of the cabbage. And then pepper. I used 2 bags of cabbage mix. I just mixed them together. One is the angel hair and the other is the tricolor. I don't cut my own cabbage. Then I'm going to add some vinegar, white vinegar. This is just going to give it some of that brightness we're looking for, that acidity. Honestly, it's 1 to 2 tablespoons. You always want to give your coleslaw sauce a taste before you actually put it on the cabbage. And then just, make sure that it is how you want it to be. We're going to go ahead and give this a good mix to get all of the ingredients combined. So, and you'll see how I do one big swoop around every so often. That's just to make sure that I'm getting everything off the sides so that all the ingredients are mixed in thoroughly. I'm going to clean my small spoon off to get that extra bit of mayonnaise off. You don't want to waste any of it. Going to mix it in and then toss it right into the coleslaw mixture. It's super quick, super easy. Honestly, it's best to make it a couple of hours ahead at a minimum. because, you know, the flavors have to develop, and it helps wilt the cabbage down and gives it that classic, like, wet coleslaw mix. So, and there you go. Easy peasy. And this is the plated dish. Thanks for joining us on Suplex and Sauce.